activities and the performance of this government, does it present itself as the best option that Nigerians could ever deserve or get?
We had an election in 2023. Somebody won that election. Right? The fellow that won the election deserves to rule, deserves to have his own term, in governance, on one hand. Coincidentally, or consequently, the fellow that won the election happened to be the best out of all of them.
By what parameter?
Every parameter possible. I'll give you just four categories, for those four credentials. One, this was a man who was a finance expert. He was a finance guru with mobile multinational.
So was Peter Obi.
How? Where? He was only chairman of a bank. Chairman of Fidelity Bank. Do you need a study of accounting and finance to be chairman of a bank? No. So it was. Secondly, this same man was a successful governor in Lagos State.
So was Peter Obi.
No, bring the records. How can you say Peter Obi was successful in Anambra? He wasn't.
So was.
I'm not talking of Kwankwaso, I'm talking of Peter Obi. Kwankwaso is not a bad man. Kwankwaso is not a bad administrator. I have nothing against him. Atiku's performance as vice president is nothing to write home about. Really? His assessor, his boss assessed him as a failure, complete failure. That's Atiku. He wrote a book about him and says Atiku has a great penchant for irregularities and all of that. He said quite a lot. Go and read the book. So who among them?
What shall never do? Yes, so with their fruit we shall know them. Make una listen to what this APC Chieftain talk. He said that Peter Obi, Atiku, you understand records. He said they are short. He said where Tinubu are stand. that means Obi record. You know, at least Obi that means Obi you not get what you do. I know what to do because this man nonsense for inside this video. I want me to listen to this nonsense with this man talk for inside this video. Now the way that they behave now. So when listen to hear and beg after watching the video, to share and for more updates. One of sugar boy.
That's a fact. You and I know. Any intelligent, any educated person within this country knows. All those things that those opposition people are saying, they are saying all of those things to save their faces. Bring a million Obi, he can't do better. I know. I can even take a bet on it.
That if Peter Obi was in government.
How? What will he do? What miracle will he perform? What miracle was he able to perform in Anambra? He was even much younger. Now, what is Obi's particular qualification, particular quality that makes him feel he can be the best Nigerian president? Let him come and tell me.
Does the arrangement on the ground show that this is a better option that Nigerians deserve?
Which I don't get
the arrangement that we see presently in the ongoing scenario that we're facing right now.
Coalition?
Does it? No. I mean the government of the day.
Okay, yeah.
And the activities and the performance of this government. Does it present itself as the best option that Nigerians could ever deserve or get?
We had an election in 2023. Somebody won that election. Right? The fellow that won the election deserves to rule, deserves to have his own term, in governance, on one hand. Coincidentally, or consequently, the fellow that won the election happened to be the best out of all of them.
By what parameter?
Every parameter possible. I'll give you just four categories, for those four credentials. One, this was a man who was a finance expert. He was a finance guru with mobile multinational.
So was Peter Obi.
How? Where? He was only chairman of a bank. Chairman of Fidelity Bank. Do you need a study of accounting and finance to be chairman of a bank? No. So it was. Secondly, this same man was a successful governor in Lagos State.
So was Peter Obi.
No, bring the records. How can you say Peter Obi was successful in Anambra? He wasn't.
So was.
I'm not talking of Kwankwaso, I'm talking of Peter Obi. Kwankwaso is not a bad man. Kwankwaso is not a bad administrator. I have nothing against him. Atiku's performance as vice president is nothing to write home about. Really? His assessor, his boss assessed him as a failure, complete failure. That's Atiku. He wrote a book about him and says Atiku has a great penchant for irregularities and all of that. He said quite a lot. Go and read the book. So who among them is better than Bola Tinubu? Even as we speak, the El-Rufai is going all over the place because of his personal pain and is disgruntled for so many reasons. If he becomes president, can he do better? Did he do better in Kaduna? Why did they boo him in Kaduna during the election a few days ago? These people don't want to face the reality. Or my brother Aregbesola, these people don't want to face the reality that they are confronted with. Look, if Bola Tinubu had wanted to coast on naturally, he didn't have to do the tough things. He would just have continued the way everybody would like to continue.
But there are those who hold the view that this president does not listen. And like Mr. Babachi Lawal, who was here on the program, a former SGF, he used some words on the president that I cannot repeat, but he's of the opinion that this government is doing badly, that this government is leading Nigeria into a disaster, and that if Nigerians are not careful and do not stand up, that this nation is in trouble.
Who is Babachi Lawal?
A former secretary to the government of the
Who was he before he became secretary to the government?
He was the vice chairman of APC.
What is that? How many elections has he won before? He can't even win his local government in Adamawa.
He
didn't help nobody. No, Babachi Lawal doesn't have the
capacity
to win the primaries. Babachi Lawal does not have the capacity to help anybody to win an election. I know him. We worked together with him, with Asiwaju, before the primaries. When we were planning, he was always around. He fell out because he felt that Asiwaju should have nominated him as vice chairman. Vice president of the vice presidential candidate.
As against Kashim Shettima?
Yes. When immediately Asiwaju named Kashim Shettima, Babachi Lawal went berserk. He could not even control his anger. I myself, two of my colleagues went to his house. We knelt down for him to say, Baba, don't do, because we were working together very closely. His office is in Nikon Luxury. And we told him, don't allow this to get you distraught. I mean, the man has chosen who he feels he wants to choose. Let's carry on in the spirit of good sportsmanship. He was bitter. His bitterness started from that point. And from that point onwards, he wanted to talk down on Ashwaju. Is that a politician? Is that the way politics goes? Now, he picked Peter Obi. He was touting Christian, as if they even know him in the Christian community. So let Babachi Lawal come out here to tell me his political value. What is his political credentials? Nothing. He said he's been friends with Ashwaju since 1982. That's what he told me in Lagos. No problem about that. But Ashwaju is now president. You should accord him some respect. Those who know Babachi Lawal knows that Babachi Lawal is not nobody. He's only selling himself to this new political alliance so that they can give him a good position. But Babachi Lawal has no electoral value of any sort.
Give me a moment. We're going to break, and when we come back, it's about the issues that have been raised by a few of the opposition elements and what this means for the government of the day. We'll conclude on that when we talk on this break. Thank you so much, everyone. Our concluding moment now with Mr. Biodun Ajiboye, who is the Director General of NICO and the Chieftain of the APC. You are going directly throwing darts at the messenger. And those who say, what about the message? Look at the issue that has been raised by some of the opposition elements. And it does look like the kind of response you get from APC members when some opposition figures talk about the performance of this government, the attitude of leaders in the APC government. It gets some of you infuriated. Why don't you focus about what Nigerians are facing? And also, are you under pressure on what the opposition is planning? Because their plan is that come 2027, they're going to send Ashwaju Bola Tinubu back to Lagos, and they're going to send APC out of prominence.
Okay, that's fine. It is for them to plan. It is for us to do the right things.
Are you doing the right thing?
No, that's what I'm saying.
By the Nigerian people.
Listen, the argument is very simple. I am not oblivious of the fact that things are tough in Nigeria. I equally know that if we have to go the route we're going as a party, as a government, things must be tough in the beginning. But I know very well that at the end of the day, there will be some good news at the end of the tunnel. Light at the end of that's a fact. Because deliberately, we decided to cut some of those palliatives that we put forward to cost life on artificially. There's no way you can continue the way Nigeria was going. You are not producing. Even your quota for barrel per day, OPEC quota of 2 million barrels per day, were no longer met. We're doing under 1 million, about 700,000 when this government came into power. So a nation that does not generate a lot of activity, productive activity.
And this government took over from what party?
No. I mean, it's the same party.
It's the same party.
Yeah, but
so you are blaming?
No, I'm not blaming. We are not. We
it's the same party.
Yes, we cannot in the right conscience blame.
So this government meant a wreckage. That's what you're saying.
Oh yeah, the point is clear. Let me explain.
Left by your party.